All right. Good afternoon, friends. It's lunch power hour for us here. I'm in California. My name is Charlotte Cora. I'm joined with Lily. Our coach Lily she's in Canada. And Sandy, oh, your picture just dropped. She is in Canada as well. There you are, your bag. She's Canada as well. And we are just hopping on here. It's lunch hour for us. And we are just going to chat a little bit about fear, from fear to freedom, how far we've come from fear, where most people start when they are starting a business or growing, to freedom, to where we really want to be. So we are on our journey. We're on that journey. It's a beautiful journey so far, but we already are on that side of freedom and we're out of the side of fear. And so that's what we want to chat about a little bit. But we must confront the fact that we had strong fears when we were starting our digital businesses. It occurred to us that we want to run an online business, we had some real fears, which we truly believe that you are probably confronted by the same fears every single day. You see us live, you're like, can I do this? Could this be for me? Or even
Mm.
much more fears, or even deeper fears than we can even imagine. So we're going to just share a little bit about what some of our fears are. And I want to remind us all that fear is a component of success. Every single person that has been successful in life has had to be afraid, has feared a lot. And so when you confronted with fear, it doesn't mean that it's not meant for you, but it's actually a way to confront it by just actually digging deep and seeing how can actually this tie into what I need or what I want to achieve in life. So we're going to chat about that a little bit, and Lily is going to open us for us. Lily, what were some of your biggest fears when you realized you were going to start an online business? Let's hear it.
Good question. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Um, Lovely to be here again. And this time, yes, before I started my business, my online business, of course, my background is totally different from what I'm doing right now. So, yeah, the feeling of having that fear it was normal. It means that I care about what I'm going to do, right? And going into something that's unknown and it's a bit uncomfortable, right?
Right.
But there is something about this business that attracted me and my husband. But one of the biggest fear that I had was I'm very tight when it comes to money. And when I started looking for an online business because I was looking for some kind of income stream that I can do at home because I was a full-time mom taking care of our son. One of my biggest fears is, putting money and investing into something that will not work. That's
Mm-hmm.
one of my fears. And of course, I've looked into so many stuff. I did research. And that's a good thing because fear will drive you to look into something to be more careful of what you're going to do next. And because of the business, I found out about the system that we have and all of that. Some of my fears were kind of, how do you say that, minimized. Yeah. And one of my biggest fear is the investment, of course. And the good thing about this business is you can start as small as you can or as big as you can, which
Mm-hmm.
later on you'll find out about that later on once you hop onto, if we have a free workshop that's going to happen this afternoon as well. So if you want to know about that, information about that, yeah. But the good thing about what the business is offering is you can start small, you can start big. It's up to you. Wherever you're comfortable with, that's where you can start. And one of my other fear is time. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
full-time mom. How can I make the business work? Because with the rest of other businesses, wherever you look, you need to put your time and your effort in a business. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's so easy for me as a full-time mom who has a new baby, like a toddler, to be always like, oh, I don't have time, I'm tired. So probably I won't be able to, put so much effort and time into my business to make it go grow and thrive. And but I think about that like every time we scroll on our phone, that's already time ticking, time
Oh my.
wasted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about making more time, it's about using the time that you have, that you got to make this business work. So that's one fear, that because also of the system that we have, it's working in the background, it's also doing some things that I can't do. Instead of me doing it, it's the system that's doing it, that kind of help as well. So that's my second fear. My third fear is I don't have the experience. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have a clue about online marketing, how to attract people into my business. But
Mm-hmm.
of course, the training is there, and you can see other ordinary people who are doing the same thing as me, and they're very timid, they're introverts, and they're thriving in the business because, of course, help from the community, help from the system that we have. And those fears, actually, when you get in the business, it's like, what's there's no basis for it. When you get in the business, you will see all the, how do you say that opportunity that you can have, all the things that you can do, all the help that you can have, it's there. So yeah, with this in mind, what I can say is, when you start building your online business, it's the shift that you will have to think about, not the fear. And you will
Mm.
realize that if you don't do something about it, you will just wait a lifetime, or maybe wait until your retirement to live the life that you really wanted. So instead of, fearing those, focusing on those fears, why not create or start something that can give you this freedom so that you can enjoy moments with your family? Because working every day away from your family, it creates um, security, yeah, but sometimes you miss all the memories and the moments, which is more important for children as well, if you have young kids, family. Yeah.
Wow. That is awesome, Lily. You talked about you gotta have a shift, right?
Mm.
That shift from fear, and when you talked about that, you also talked about creating that time. You were afraid of burnout, afraid that you wouldn't have time to do this, right? And I think that's the fear we hear all the time when we share this
Mm.
opportunity. People say, I don't have time, I have a full-time job. We're like, well, we do have
Mm.
full-time jobs too. We do have full-time families. We do a lot of other different things that really, we all have 24 hours, right? But it's really, at the end of the day, how we use that time. And you talked about, you already anyway scrolling online, right? You're already scrolling
Sorry.
online. I remember, that's why you said you have to have the shift, right? Because I remember before starting this business, I could totally sit on Facebook and scroll. I could go to Instagram and scroll, then go to TikTok and scroll. But I will tell you, since I've started this business, since I started this a year now, oh gosh, I go to TikTok, post my content, I leave. I know I'm supposed to engage a little more as well to get interaction, but I know my ideal customer is, yeah, could be on TikTok as well or whatever. But the scroll has had to die, right? The scroll has had to die because I know I need more time to put in my family. I need more time for my business. And so that's why that shift has to happen sometimes, right? So that was a really good point when you mentioned. And most of us already spending so much of time on social media. So it's about time to make that money there as well and let go of the fear. Thank you so much for sharing all those great nuggets about the fears that we have that are real. Thank you so much. And now, freedom, right? The shift is real, right? Yeah. Thank you so much. Sandy, you can take the floor, share with us some of the fears that you had too as you are starting your business.
Oh, the fear before well, my fear was why I stopped because of my husband and my daughter. They don't want me to stay on the computer for hours, like uh, you know, and I didn't. Well, because after work, like all day, and then you wanna go and sit down on the computer, do something, and they don't want that. So, but now I'm trying to find a way. How can I, you know, how can I do that? How can I continue in this business? Because I don't want to let my husband or my daughter again stop me from doing the things that I
Mm.
want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know if I can put my time on it, and yeah, the scrolling on those social media is really takes your time wasted.
Right.
Those are just wasted time, and I do that, and I know I realize that yes, if I can scroll on those social media, I can do that. I can put my time on this. But yes, the butt thing.
Yes.
I have to face my butts and my family's what do you call this? They're not yet into it,
Mm-hmm.
so I need the support. They don't have I don't have the support yet for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that's why I'm still trying to get my what do you call that? My courage to do
Mm-hmm.
it. To do it, even though without their support, but without also uh, trying to ignore them, and my
Mm-hmm.
responsibilities with them.
Mm.
So I just have to be more, I think, more disciplined for
Right.
myself. I have
Right.
to have self discipline and learn more of this business. I honestly, I didn't really have the time, or didn't put the time. I could have the time, but I didn't put the time to study the business continuously and completely. That's
Mhm.
And then when my family just don't want discourage me, so I got
Mm.
discouraged.
Yes. Yeah. That's
So
good. Are you honest about it? Hmm. So that was one of the biggest fears, is just being discouraged by others and not getting that support that you needed to launch and to
mm-hmm.
start strong, right? And I think since I've been a part of this business a year now, Lily, you can even speak into this, even for your 5-year experience. You kind of boldly say that most people experience that fear, where either a
Mhm.
spouse says, you know what, rethink this decision, or maybe this is not for you. But many people that have taken continue to take that courage, especially the fact that you're surrounded with this community. And that's what this community offers you, right? You discover that there's so many people that are experiencing the same. And then you find you have a community that can encourage you and push you.
Mhm.
When you don't have the support from the family front, you realize you can still pursue your dreams, right? Of course, you're not going to ignore them, whatever they have to say, but you're going to listen, but also continue to take courage, knowing your destination, right? So that's good, Sandy, and I'm glad that you're here. We get to be on the same team. We're here cheering you on. So I want you to know that you can continue to move confidently, knowing that you have cheerleaders on your team that are supporting you as well. Yeah, but
thank
that's a really real fear that we
thank
all
you.
have. I had the same fear when I started my husband. I was like, another online business, you know? It's always that, right? We all get it. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm going to follow my heart. I want you to trust me, follow through with me. It's a journey, it's not a destination. We're going to keep going slowly but sure. And I promise you, this business is going to show up and show off, and it's going to surprise you. And he's already seen it. And he continues. Now he is continuing to, he's getting to support me more. And that has
Mhm.
been such a blessing. So sometimes they have to be on that journey with us, to trust the process, carry them along on that journey, slow but sure, without forcing them. But yeah, they'll come along, which is really fun. So I'm sure many people out there may be feeling the same. Oh, how do I tell my husband I'm going to be a part of an online business when I have a full-time
Mhm.
job or whatever? We want you to take that journey too as well and follow along. But anyway, I think my main fears for me were the time. Lily talked about that already. I felt that I was going to burn out. I'm like, I'm going to have to deal with burnout, starting an online business, have to learn all the systems, new, everything's going to be new community. But when I came here, I realized the way our training is structured, it's one that is not to burn you out, but it's one to support you fully. Because what burns you out is just having to go research for things. I'm going on YouTube and Googling and asking ChatGPT what to do. No, none of that is here. Here you have a blueprint that you're going to follow, that is going to give you the take you on that journey to success. So you're moving straight that than just continuing to, wander everywhere. So I liked that a lot, and that saved a lot of my time and my what I thought would be burnout. So that was a blessing. And I think the other for me, the biggest other fear was balancing family life and my other business that I ran, and then a digital business. Balance was hard, and that's why we have to have. Lily talked about the shift, cutting out some of the things that were taking my time, like the scroll, and saying now I can invest this time in my business. Things that were not necessary. Netflix. I cannot lie to you when I last watched a movie. Last night I slept at, I think, 1:30. I was finishing a training from my business. I totally could have been binge watching a Netflix movie, a Chick-fil-A movie somewhere, right? But I don't have that time anymore, because my time has to be allocated to my business. It's very important and crucial. So that's true. That's what you're really saying. The shift has to happen, and creating that time for your business to flourish. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Lily, it was so much fun. This was
Yes.
a good topic.
Short but sweet.
Yes, it was so short and sweet. All right. Have a
I'm
beautiful day.
sorry.
No, you're Sandy. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you again on Thursday in the afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thursday
See
or
you.
God bless
Tuesday,
you.
right? Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
You too.
Okay, bye.